soul of the city.
What is going on, St. Louis City fans and MLS fanatics? Welcome back to another episode of Soul of the City, brought to you by First Touch Media. Today is Monday, March the 18th, and 2 days ago, we saw St. Louis City take on the LA Galaxy in Carson County, California. Played to an exciting 3-3 draw. I think the guys showed a lot of resilience, as we've seen. It's a kind of common theme throughout this season so far, fighting for points away. Maybe people will say that this game was in our grasp to be won. But however, I will not be too upset with walking away with a point from a pretty upgraded LA Galaxy side versus what we saw from them last season. 3 games against LA, 3 ties. What do you guys think?
Yeah, I think if you would have told me that we would be getting a point out of this game before the game started, I'd be pretty happy. But with us leading in the 95th minute, it's kind of disappointing to go away with the tie.
Yeah, I would agree with that. I would say we were pretty lucky to even be in a position of going for all 3 points. They outclassed us for much of the night, though we didn't give up and we fought back. We led for some odd 20 seconds. But I think, again, our defensive lapses come to bite us in the ass. And if we could figure out how to stop those from happening, we would have more than 3 draws this season. We've only got draws, so it's hard to move up the table if we're only going to keep drawing. So if we want to draw so much, we should go to art school.
Yeah. KCI, remember that place? I don't even know what I'm talking about. Anyways, yeah, in this game, we definitely missed the likes of Blom and Leuven in the midfield. It seemed like the middle of the park there's a lot of free, easy passes into a brand new right winger for LA Galaxy, Joseph Paintsil. That guy was cooking, rather rapid. He had his finishing boots on. He was looking the complete package. Came from Genk, Belgian team. Talented player.
I think that when we have the tape on him, we should be starting games with a left back that isn't Marcanic, because he was getting absolutely slaughtered time and time again. I think we missed Timmy P quite a bit. He seems to be the leader of that back line, and when there's no leader in, they seem to be a little disheveled. And yeah, I don't know. I just think Marcanic kind of sold, to be honest. I couldn't tell you actually what his defensive style was, because it didn't seem to be a defensive style at all. He got caught out frequently. There were several times where he was just not tracking his man at all, and by the time he realized that he needed to get back, they were in.
Yeah, I kind of feel like he started off all right, but then like second half especially, like they were just playing long balls in behind him, and like I said, he was getting cooked.
His positioning was horrible.
And I think if it weren't for Roman Berkey, he had 5 wonder saves that game. It could have easily been 6-3 or worse.
Yeah, should have been. They hit the woodwork 3 times as well.
Yep.
Like, we were extremely lucky to be in a position to battle in this game.
Yeah. That goalie mistake for our third goal.
Yeah. The own goal.
Yeah. Really.
Some people were saying it was a foul.
Not a foul. Not at all.
Probably not. Hebert's straight up.
Yep.
Going for the ball.
McCarthy's got bricks for hands. There's nothing else you can really say about it.
Yeah, so, obviously we were missing Leuven and Tim Parker with some late injury concerns in the week. Nielsen obviously scored, so, that's a plus for having him in. What'd you guys think about Yarrow and Nielsen?
Yarrow just sometimes gives me fear. He definitely did a lot on the opportunity that there was one opportunity on the edge of the box for Ricky Puig that he smashed off like the bottom of the crossbar that didn't go in, and then Joveljic had another opportunity to head it in, and Yaro kind of pushes him from behind, pushes him off his shot. That was like his biggest defensive contribution for the night. I do just fear any time we're without Tim Parker. I think he's too essential to the back line, and I think we were probably critical of him early on in St. Louis City's existence. However, as time's gone on, I've only further realized how essential he is.
He's a rock for sure. And then
why are you looking like you got something to say?
Looking pensive.
Yeah.
I think that we shouldn't set our bar at Tim Parker. I'm sticking with my belief that we should be looking for the future center back to hold down.
Maybe Michael Wenzel is him.
That's what I was just about to say, and he didn't appear on the City 2 roster from yesterday. I don't know. Was he on the bench?
He wasn't on the main roster either, I don't think.
Yeah, he wasn't on the bench against Galaxy. So I'm wondering where he's at. I think he's a better center back than Yaro and Hebert both, and I think he should be the one considered there, but I have no idea what his situation is.
I don't think we should see that pairing again. Not because they're not good at defending, but they have too similar of attributes to make a quality pairing, you know. I think Parker with either of the two brings a balance that we need in the center. I think we thought we were getting a lot more from Nielsen when we first got him than we've seen yet. Obviously, that bike was astounding.
Yeah, I don't know how he turned that in. What kind of
center back just pulls a bike out of his pocket? I don't know. But I would like to see what we were expecting out of him, which is, correct me if I'm wrong, but better playmaking ability, better passing out of the back, which I think we missed with Parker again.
Yeah.
We always do.
Well, in this game, we only have, 33% possession, 36% possession. There wasn't a whole lot of passing from the back. I think over 60% of our passes came on their half of the field, and there wasn't a whole lot of buildup from the back.
We really got lucky with the point.
Incredibly lucky.
I think Ostrak did a hell of a job.
Well, actually, hold on. Before, I think Nielsen, I just wanted to say, I feel like he's very good at positioning himself and making very perfect tackles a lot of the time. Obviously, his biggest weakness to me is his pace, which kind of we saw yesterday, because Paintsel would burn Markanek, and Nielsen was you could see him sprinting as hard as he could, but
never catching up.
Yeah, losing ground still.
You relate to that?
I do. It reminds me a lot of when I play soccer. But yeah, I mean, I still think he's very solid at the back, and I think Yaro's biggest liability is playing with the ball at his feet. And I think, like you said, Tim Parker, great at that. I think Nielsen's okay, though. I think he's our next best ball-playing center back.
Do you guys think so we saw, obviously, very early on into the second half, after we were just talking about Markanek getting cooked by Paintsel, we saw Dur come in, I think probably do a bit of a better job than Markanek. Looked pretty pacey, looked up to the task. Do you guys anticipate him being the starting left back for the game against DC next week?
Well, I do want to say I think he got the benefit of the doubt of being able to come on with fresh legs and didn't have a good amount of time under his belt that was clearly catching up with Markanek. But I don't know if you can just swap like that because of that reason. I mean, it's hard to determine if he was actually better, if he just had the legs for it. But I do think that there should be some attempt by Carnell to recognize when to have a more defensive player play in that role or have, well, obviously Marcanic, in my opinion, is strictly there for his attacking upside. And if that is not what we need, i.e. when there's a winger that's going to burn the shit out of Marcanic because his positioning is horrible, he's not much of a defender. And no hate on him for that. I appreciate a good
and I think he's
playmaker.
shown flashes before of defensive ability. I wouldn't say that he's totally worthless on defense.
He seems pretty tall
Yeah.
for that position.
Yeah.
To be
That's
honest.
fair, too.
When
yeah.
he, especially last night, I noticed how much closer in height he is to the center backs than he was to the winger that he was supposed to be guarding. I can't imagine trying to guard someone that's 5 inches shorter than me and's got double my pace. I'll give him that.
And he was jacked. He lifted his shirt up one time and just revealed like the most
Washboard.
gorgeous cut of abs I feel like I've ever seen. I was like, damn.
That was painful.
In a pause.
No, nothing wrong with it.
I do
going.
think Deere, like you said, obviously he was fresh legs against Paintsel, who's been running for 60 minutes or whatever. But I feel like he was still positioning himself better than Marcanic.
I would like to see Doer get the start next week, truly. Like, just because we haven't really seen a lot of him, I have no idea what he can even do offensively. I feel like every time he's come on, it's been to do a defensive job. And
true.
I feel like that's what we were excited about with him. And Totland both was their ability to get up the field.
Yeah, I do. I feel like Carnell should try to have an understanding that, hey, if Totland's being the attacking role today on his side, then we're going to need a defensive role on the other side and vice versa, you know? And I think Totland can play both of those roles on his side, but I don't think Marcanic can play both of those roles on his side.
I think Totland was an amazing signing.
Oh, yeah.
Because he had yet another great game against Galaxy. I mean, you know, up the field and playing defense, like you said. I know, like, the one that looked good to me was it was actually a Berkey save. It was like the cross coming in from Paintsel, and the guy was being marked by Totland, and they were both running in, and the guy, like, gets a shot on goal, but Berkey saves it. But Totland, like, is sliding in, and he's right on that defender, which, you know, I feel like if it was Marcanic, he wouldn't be anywhere near.
I remember there's one Paintsel, and maybe actually on that exact same play, it was actually on Paintsel's goal. I think Marcanic is sliding it. He just goes for a slide, and he is just nowhere even remotely close to Paintsel.
Yeah.
He's fun to watch, though. I will say, like,
yeah,
he's a fright. He's gonna tear the league up, I think.
Yeah, they need a better striker. If they had a better striker, we would have been finished.
Yeah, Joveljic. Well, he was competing. He still is for Golden Boot right now in MLS. He's bagged quite a few so far this season, but doesn't really mean
Definitely
much.
should have bagged last night. That's for
It's
sure.
true. There's definitely better number 9s in MLS than him.
Does Christian Benteke still start for DC United?
Yep.
I don't know about start, but
He scored an opening day hat trick and has been silent since.
What makes me nervous is our inability to defend set pieces. And what really makes me nervous if we're coming up against Christian Benteke is that he is a massive man who can score headers. And if those two pairings go together, that does not – because, like, if Joveljic could have been better in the air with his head last night, we would have had no chance. And if we keep giving those many opportunities to a striker that knows how to put his head on the ball and get it in anywhere on goal, we're going to have problems.
Yeah.
I don't know why, though. I don't get it. Our two center backs are massive individuals themselves, so I don't understand why there's such a difficult.
Well, yeah, if we have Tim Parker back, that would be a huge plus for this DC United game.
Yes, but even with Tim Parker in, we have struggled with defensive lapses and set pieces. I guess we will see.
Yeah, we will indeed.
Yeah. The chances, though, I feel like we're still coming for St. Louis. Like, although I will give LA Galaxy the better chances. I think they had 5 big chances to our 3. We're still doing well on creating the chances, and I know Ian's been harping on it, is like finishing the chances is what we really need to be better on. I remember, similar to last week against Austin, Indy Vassilev had a disgusting little run all the way from the right, like all the way across, just like split the line, and honestly could have done better on the finish, just put it over. It was like within the 6-yard box, and he somehow doesn't turn it in. And then Klaus had a ball played in that I think we saw it against, no, I don't think so. But just a headed opportunity that he couldn't convert. Maybe that one was a little bit more difficult because it was so high up. Yeah, we have to finish these good chances that are coming in.
I don't think it's often that you get to say, I want to see players be more selfish. But I honestly would like to see our players be a little more selfish, because there's too many times where they're loading. You see the loading in their head, trying to make a decision, going through all the possibilities. And then by the time they make their decision, they've allowed the team to get back on defense, and your chances just go away. Just hit the fucking ball. Just shoot.
Mm-hmm.
And not only shoot, but players need to be in the box for rebounds. You know, I think Klaus played a lot better than he had been playing last night, but I still would like to see more out of him. You know, and more. It's like a constant thing. Like it needs to be constant with him. He can't forget. There's just times where the ball is slowly rolling out of bounds. And, yeah, maybe you wouldn't have gotten there if you sprinted for it. But how do you know unless you do it? Or maybe if you had worked harder to get onside that ball that got played through to where you could have been if you had gotten yourself onside and made the run, doesn't just trail off and you walk back because you were offside. You know, it's little things like that.
And his positioning, too. I really am growing tired of watching him drop into midfield or like be out wide. Like, bro, you just got to be in the middle, man.
Constantly either on like the right wing or in the midfield. It was
I feel like
weird.
this past game he was doing a lot better, like being a lot more central.
Yeah, I agree in this game.
But yeah, overall for the season, I agree.
Chris Durkin, I thought he had a great performance last night. Obviously, I did feel like there were moments where the midfield was spread a little bit thin. I don't know if it's really a knock to Durkin, but he seemed all over the park. I mean, he was everywhere putting in tackles, doing a good job.
Yep, that guy is another great signing. He apparently won the most duels in the match and had the most tackles in the match. But I mean, yeah, like you said, offense, defense. He was everywhere. I feel like there were times where the midfield would play a long ball in that it seemed like LA had way more people getting into the box before our midfielders were getting back into the box, which, like, if we are doing high press, like a really aggressive high press where we're all the way up in their half, like, yeah, it is going to be harder for our midfielders to get back on defense when there's a long ball. But I guess that was my only complaint for our midfield.
Yeah. Celio in this game, kind of a quiet night. Didn't complete very many dribbles. I think he was very low percentage on duels. I mean, just not his night, truthfully. He wasn't getting a lot done. Unfortunate, but I don't think we lose him from the starting lineup, truthfully.
Paintsel is who I want Celio to be.
Yeah. I don't know.
I don't think he's that fast, man. I don't think he's ever going to be that fast.
Or that strong. I mean, he's like, man. I mean, I feel like he could reach close to Paintsel's level if he grinds, has a couple consistent seasons. I would love it.
That's what 8.5 million gets you in the MLS. That is like,
I mean, yeah, Paintsel
is one of those players that very easily should not be playing in the MLS. I feel the same way about Totland. It blows my mind that Totland is playing for us in the MLS. It's not a bad thing. It's fantastic, but it blows my mind. Especially the night that Painesville had last night. Insane.
Yep. What do you guys think about Ostrak? Obviously, he had our first goal in the first half to equalize.
He was playing like he wants that spot.
Agreed.
Yeah.
He was hungry.
This is what we've been wanting from him. I mean, not just this game. I feel like even last game and the time before when he subbed on, I feel like he's had pretty good performances this season.
He seemed less selfish,
Yeah.
which is good.
He seems more like aware of his surroundings. Like he's been looking up a lot more, which I know we've complained about last year a lot, that he would just dribble with his head down and not think about what he was going to do, just run.
Yeah. He wants it a lot more. That's what you want to see from your fifth highest payroll employee. Like, I'm definitely here for it, especially if Leuven's going to continue to be out. I doubt he is going to be on the bench next week. Leuven, I'm speaking about. I don't think he'll be there, but if Ostrak can step up and fill that role, I'll be very happy. It'll be especially interesting to see what happens in the midfield once Jabulo Blom comes back. I'm highly anticipating his return as well.
He makes me nervous. Blom does.
Why?
Not because of his performances, but just because of the sheer amount that he's hurt. And with situations like that, it's hard to say, yeah, you can have your starting spot back once you're healthy. You know, I'm just talking hypothetically, especially if Durkin can keep improving the way. I mean, he's been improving every game that he's played. To be honest, I don't know. It's a good thing to have competition, and I don't know what the circumstances are that cause Blom to get injured so frequently, but
I mean, thankfully, it seems like everything is pretty short term. I don't think he's been out for more than a month or so with any of his injuries, so I'm not too fearful about injury proneness with him. Might just be like some here and there, coach, I'm feeling a little sore today type thing.
Just a thing to keep an eye on.
Yep. It is nice having Alm back. Haven't really seen too much of him. Hasn't really done too much, but it does make me feel more confident if, with Leuven and Blom both being out, we have Vasilev who can slot in. Kojima got a couple minutes.
Yeah, a lot of Japanese players on the field last night. Maya Yoshida and then Mickey, I can't remember his last name.
The
two.
Right back or left back or something.
Right back. And then Kojima. All a bunch of Japanese internationals. Seems it was pretty cool. They were talking after the game, I saw. Yeah. Yeah, I'm hopeful for Kojima. He was on the City 2 roster last night, and I remember what's his name? Matt Baker was talking about last season having AZ swap between City 2 and the main roster, and that was a big part of like him getting his confidence and stuff up. I'm hopeful that it'll be the same for Kojima, and he'll be able to bounce back and forth and be able to come and start giving us some breakout performances. I'm hopeful, man. Yep. I'm excited.
Yep. I guess, what do you guys think of AZ overall?
I thought he had a good game.
Yeah.
Me too.
Yeah, he seems a little more confident with what he wants to do, which I think is a great thing. If he can, I think he only had one shot on target, but it was a great opportunity, and he's gonna find some. He had one crazy pass to Klaus that I remember, just absolutely threaded Klaus in from the right. I'm very hopeful for the kid.
Yep, 4 chances created. He's only 22. I predict we're gonna sell him this summer. Cash in on him. What do you guys think?
Hopefully not.
I mean, yeah, I hope not, because he's our most creative player besides Celio maybe.
Mm-hmm.
But centrally, I mean, I don't know. I feel like he is a lock for a starting spot.
Mm-hmm. I think he's also thriving in this second striker role in this 4-4-2. I think he's liking. I don't even know if maybe it's freedom to kind of be anywhere up in our attacking third, but I think he's thriving under this formation. I'm very hopeful.
I also think in games where Leuven isn't the main man, there's not so much of a theme of get Leuven the ball as soon as possible, and that's been good for him. And Sam was a great addition last night.
Super sub
Got an assist.
Instantly
Got
first
an assist.
touch of the game.
Almost got the game winner at the end.
Yeah.
Could maybe he would have blown that over the crossbar too.
He's finishing that for sure.
I mean, as a defender, you're not letting him get that shot off.
Yeah. You can't.
3-3, 98th minute, one-on-one. Like, if that's me, I'm not even attempting a clean tackle.
I'm not even looking at the ball.
Yeah.
He is not getting past me, no matter what.
Yeah, the LA Galaxy fans applauded Caceres as he walked off. He's going to be tormented when LA Galaxy come to St. Louis.
Yeah, he better get a lengthy ban for that one.
Yeah, he should. It's probably going to be like a 3-match would be my guess. But who knows with these scab refs? I mean, I guess it's still the same authority.
Yeah.
Who's going to give him
It's
suspensions.
probably the league deciding the suspension.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, obviously as a St. Louis fan, hated that. Made me want to cry. But it was like pretty good defending, you got to say.
Yeah.
Makes you think
100% I would do it, and I would hope my team's players would do it as well.
Yeah.
Ramos yelling at Valverde,
Kill
him.
I know that's exactly what every LA Galaxy fan was thinking.
Yeah.
Kill him.
Yeah. Yep. And they did a great job. Yeah, so, I mean, I have been really impressed. There hasn't really been, outside of the away game in Houston, there hasn't really been a boring St. Louis City game this season.
Yes, but there also hasn't been a very complete City game.
New York was pretty complete. Actually, New York was very complete. Total and utter domination.
Win?
Yes.
Oh, yeah, we did.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm tripping.
Yeah, there hasn't been a boring game yet. I like the Austin game. We went down early, came back, made it 2-2. Should have won the game, truthfully. In this game, a 3-3 draw, just absolute thriller, end-to-end action. I mean, it was pretty nerve-wracking. I was definitely fearful for lots of different reasons in that game. But it had me on the edge of my seat. And I feel like last season, especially towards the tail end, it was just boring result, just hoof it up, just not fun to watch. But this season we're coming out strong, we're coming out hot, and I'm having a lot of fun.
Yep, it is crazy. I feel like last year. Oh, my bad, Mickey. Go ahead.
What?
Now you're getting the finger because you're being a glass half empty pessimist over there.
Okay, I mean, it would be nice to see consistency.
Have we not been consistent?
I feel like the Houston loss was our least consistent and also worst performance.
And I felt like we snapped back after that.
Agreed.
The goals that we concede are not good goals, ever.
At least that's been consistent.
I mean, that Paintsville
Whatever,
goal,
dude.
the Paintsville goal was a great pass. Marcanic, it's kind of one-on-one, and Paintsville's faster.
It's not one-on-one. It's 1-on-0.
I mean, I think that was a good goal. The Yoshida goal off that cross, I mean,
It was a good header.
It was. It was that's a dangerous ball because, if nobody touches it, Roman Berkey has to react to it. And if someone does get a header on it like Yoshida did, then he's got to save that. So
the first goal was definitely some poor defending. I think Totland misses a challenge, and then Marcanic slips.
Yeah.
It turned out to be 4-on-2 in our own box. I'll agree with you on that.
Yeah.
Conceding from set pieces.
What I mean is I would like to see more defensive consistency.
Okay.
Quality, actually. I would rather see more boring games in which we concede less goals than thrilling games where we get 1 point.
Would you rather win 5-4 or win 1-0?
1-0. That's a lot of goals conceded, man. And
True.
In this hypothetical situation, who the hell on our team is scoring 5 goals?
Hey, we did against Cincinnati last year.
They're coming from everywhere. I think I agree with you. Defensive consistency would be nice.
I'm talking championship winning side here, man. You don't win.
True.
First of all, we're not scoring goals like crazy, so I don't know what you guys are talking about, but I'd rather have a lockdown defense than a crazy offense. I don't know. That's a weird hypothetical to try to answer.
I agree. Forgive me for asking.
I mean, we scored 8 goals this season, conceded 6. I don't know, man.
Could be worse.
It could be worse.
I think as long as we can start finishing these, because chances are coming. You can't deny that. You can't say that hasn't been consistent. The chances have been there. We just have to finish a lot more of them.
Yeah, no shit. That game could have been over by halftime last night.
Yep. But it wasn't.
And
we scrape out with. I'm really like our home record. We're 1-0-1. Away from home, we're 0-2. Our away record, especially at the end of the last season, was pretty abysmal. We didn't really have that many road victories last year. I just think it's still early. I think we're showing a lot of great signs early, and I have no complaints. I think we're trending upwards. The defense does need help, though. I will give you that.
So
I will
you
concede.
do have a complaint.
It's not really a complaint. It's just a talking point. Yeah. Yep.
Cool.
Yeah.
Fuck you, man.
I wish we didn't have so many injuries already this season.
Yeah.
That's my only complaint.
And I hope it doesn't become a theme.
Yeah, if a couple more happen, we could be in some trouble. But the good news is I feel like we're still a lot more deep than last year somehow.
Mm-hmm.
Like, we didn't really make that many signings, but it just seems like everyone's figured out their role. Like, we know what they can do. People are just playing better overall.
Agreed.
I think our midfield especially has a lot more depth.
Yeah.
With Ostrakin looking the way he is and Durkin.
Yeah, Kojima.
Yeah, somehow Leuven's absence didn't hurt us as badly as I think we anticipated last night.
Seriously, I mean, I know when he was out last year for like the 3 games or whatever it was.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
it was like end of the world.
We like couldn't do anything. We just had no creation at all. But yeah, I mean, we've really turned around from then. Those dark times.
Dark. You know what that's from?
No.
I'm not going to tell you. Yeah, did you guys want to touch on the Galaxy any more? Any other takeaways you might have?
You're such a positive guy, man. It's really something.
I can't help it, bro.
You know,
what
one
are you
of
gonna
our
do,
goals
sue
last night was an own goal.
Yep. But it was created by a set piece masterclass from our set piece coach. We were just overloading the entire 6-yard box. Just sent everybody in there, and they just said, "Go stand there. Just be in the way." So I think it was a product of something that was coached. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Ricky Puig had the giveaway for that Ostrak goal.
Yeah.
Love to slander him.
Oh, absolutely.
Maybe top 3 most hated people in the MLS for me. Yep. That's all I got, really. Oh, also John Nelson. Didn't see him.
Yeah.
That sack of dirt.
Saw him on the bench.
Saw him on the bench. Hey, season 2, sitting on the bench, bro.
How did City 2 do last night?
I think we lost 2-1. I know John Klein had a goal. They showed that.
My fellow alum.
I'm looking anywhere for a hungry striker that wants to make their name.
A 5'3" striker, John Klein.
Perhaps. Can he put chances away?
Hey, that finish he had last night was pretty clean. I can't lie. I can't imagine John Klein on the first team roster. It'd be so odd for me to see.
Just imagine a front two of John Klein and Sam Adeniran, like just complete opposite player profiles.
That'd be kind of cool, actually. I could be here for it.
They might actually complement each other extremely well.
Oh my God! Actually, sign him to
Call
the
him
first
up.
team now.
Johnny,
You're starting next week.
Yeah. So this weekend, DC United. Chris Durkin will take on his former side for the first time. Jared Stroud and Lucas Bartlett's return to St. Louis.
Jared Stroud's been cooking.
I think we're in for a treat at City Park. I think it's going to be another great game.
Any changes to the squad? Do we see Dorr?
I think Dewar steps in, and I think he's going to play left back. I think Jared Stroud's been playing on the right, so it would be Dewar-Jared Stroud matchup.
gulp.
Need that.
Need that, want that.
Ostrak start again?
I think so. I think you got to give it to him. I was honestly surprised with how quickly we subbed him out against
Me
Galaxy.
too.
I thought he was doing a very good job. I thought he could have stayed in a bit longer.
I thought he was one of our more...
I know he's had some stamina issues in the past with him not looking good after, the 60th minute or 70th minute. So maybe it was just preemptive before he started looking bad.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
That's fair. I think we probably see a very similar lineup as last week, though. I don't think it didn't really change that much outside of what Leuven from the Austin game.
Mm-hmm. If Leuven,
I guess Adeniran and Klaus were swapped.
if Leuven and Parker are back, are they just slotting back in? You think?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ostrak and Yarrow off. What about if Blom is back?
Now we get into the true deep waters of what the hell are we going to do?
And that's what I was meaning when I was talking about these injuries is if every time you get injured, another player is stepping their game up, maybe next season we don't see AZ leave, we see Blom leave, because
Who knows?
I value consistency a lot, and who knows?
So does that
Durkin?
mean Caselio, would you say he had an inconsistent night last night?
Not really. I think he was still getting the ball into good areas. We're just having a hard time having attackers in the right place at the right time. Celio's pretty good at. Obviously, last night he wasn't as good at beating his man as he has been, but he still finds ways to get those angles where he can pull the ball back into the box where somebody might be able to hit it. They're just not there half the time. So I'm not really mad about Celio. Can't really lean on one guy too much. Yeah.
Will we ever see Nokvi Thorson ever again in a starting role?
Starting role?
No.
He needs to work at that.
Unless we get injuries.
Yeah, that's the only reason that he would start. I agree. I mean, I think he can kind of do what Ostrak did and, kind of seize his chances coming in off the bench. And then, the few times that you do get a start, for whatever reason, you have to be good.
Yeah.
You can't be trash and start.
And at least with Ostrak, even when we were, having problems with it, he would still pull a goal out here and there, It's not like his all-around game was terrible. He was just making the wrong decisions. Nokvi just hasn't shown me anything to work with.
We really have no idea with him still.
No, I have an idea.
I don't know that we do. I feel like his chances have been so limited.
I would 100 billion% times rather have Stroud than Nokvi.
Yeah. I mean,
that's valid.
He doesn't have a good first touch. His decision making has been poor.
Lackluster.
He's basically
not that
Jared
fast.
Stroud, but without the work rate and pace.
I'm thinking about something I said in the chat a while ago, but I'm not going to say it on the podcast.
And with the wings and the midfield having, like, I'd rather see Indy on the wing, anywhere on the wing, either side.
Definitely
than
Alm
Nokvi. Yeah.
over him.
I just think he's gonna have a rough time getting into the team.
Yep.
Um,
It's just disappointing because it was a signing that I felt like, I mean, we were pretty excited about, and it just never came into fruition.
we also have a habit of
The highlight tape looked
hyping
nice.
players up too much.
Yeah.
Because where did he come from? It wasn't.
Danish league or something.
Yeah.
One of those.
Beer Shot, I think, is the name of the club because he played with Moises Caicedo. Fun fact.
Fun fact that we've heard at least 4 times on the pod alone.
Well, you
never
know what?
heard
Now
it.
it's the 5th time.
I've never heard it before.
And I'm going to keep saying it until the end of time.
Cool.
Thanks.
Completely different levels.
Thanks.
So we got score predictions for DC United game.
I will predict 3-1 at home for St. Louis. Victory.
Have we gotten a clean sheet yet?
Yeah, New York. I don't know why you keep just like throwing that game like it just doesn't
Me neither,
exist.
because I was at that game. Oh yeah,
Maybe
it was
you were-
2-0.
Yeah.
I might have been
Too hammered.
faded. Or I was just. It was just another day in the office, you know.
Excuses.
I just am scared to predict a clean sheet ever again.
What if Tim Parker is back and Nicholas Deere is starting?
You know how I already have been feeling about making predictions this season. Yeah. I'd love a 2-0 win. I'd love let's start racking up the clean sheets.
We are, for those of you listening, we're a part of a charity event being put on by STL Soccer News right now. We're currently 0 wins. Basically, we just predict how many goals St. Louis scores, and we haven't won a single week yet.
We've been wrong every week.
Thankfully, against LA Galaxy, nobody guessed us scoring 3 goals.
Nice.
So we're not in too far deep of a hole.
Nice.
Prediction for you?
I'll say 2-1. I'm hoping we make our former players look like fools. Also, Christian Benteke. Hopefully, we pocket that man. Yeah, I don't know.
It would be really disheartening to watch Jared Stroud come ball on us.
Yeah.
I really hope that doesn't happen.
That
Got
would
a
be the
bad
ultimate.
feeling.
That would be the ultimate eat your words compilation.
He looked good last game.
I bet you he gets a standing ovation, though.
I think it shut off. I don't think we had enough space. So the podcast is just going to end abruptly.
Well, we could do audio. Goodbye.
Okay.
Goodbye, audio.
Goodbye, audio.
What's your score prediction?
I already said
2-1.
3-1.
2-1.
Cool.
Okay.
All right.
Cool.
If this
God
makes
damn
if
it,
this
I
makes
thought
it
we
into the
got past
episode,
this.
thanks for listening.
Thank you for watching this episode of Soul of the City, brought to you by First Touch Media and Anchor FM. Make sure to check us out on YouTube at First Touch Media, and all of our socials are at First Touch 314. Thank you for watching.